Yeah, well, luckily we can't hear him.
Twitter is live, confirmed.
All
Yeah,
righty.
I doubt that. That sound, uh, Michael Markman, did you
Yes.
hear it? Because it's the sound we had last time.
I know.
Okay, so did you hear it? Is my question.
I don't hear it, no, but I know about it.
I just heard it.
Me too.
Yeah, I heard it.
All right, so we'll just have to, raise your hand when you want to talk because we're going to put you on mute.
Well,
was the-
we'll do that if it
No, I just won't put the streaming service up on my Facebook. I just won't type anything. It's okay.
It was definitely a microphone scratch. It wasn't
Yeah,
anything else.
It's weird.
yeah.
It is weird,
Okay,
I
so
forget where the microphone is in this device that I'm using.
What are you using?
A MacBook.
Man, the mic is up there, isn't it?
Close to the top.
No, it's
Yeah.
Camera's up there.
The camera's
camera's
up
up
on
there.
the screen.
Camera's
I
up
don't-
there.
I think
Yeah.
I think the microphone's down along the keyboard.
Just
The
so
latest-
everyone knows, we're about to stream. We're about to record the Gillmor Gang. We're just getting our ducks in a row, as they say. I've got a confirmation that we're on Twitter or X.
Facebook is up.
Facebook's up. We're streaming to LinkedIn. Anybody? Brent's watching a football game, so it's going to be difficult to figure that out.
No, I'm watching reruns. That's all. Let's see.
Yeah, I see us on X.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I think
whether
we
we're on
haven't
LinkedIn or not, we're gonna
done the reboot, Keith. On
You're live on LinkedIn too.
yes,
Live on
okay.
Yeah, we're live. We're live.
Okay,
Hopefully
quiet,
on YouTube
please.
as well.
Everybody, quiet.
All right. So we're going to get a single shot set up, and we will start. Mute is off, and we're gonna go in 3, 2, 1, and
Hi, Steve Gillmor here. This is the Gillmor Gang. Joining us from London, England, is Frank Radis.
Hi, Steve. Hello, gangsters. It's lovely here in London tonight. I am unfortunately missing, although they're streamable, Reacher for All Mankind and a special episode, which is not streamable yet, of EastEnders. I guess I can watch it on the iPlayer. That's it. I got nothing else. I'm all done.
From Seattle, Washington area is Michael Markman.
How do you do? We have our accustomed rain today, so I feel very Seattle-ish.
That's it?
Well, we had 2 days of no rain, and I used that to have all my gutters replaced. So now I'm testing them.
Excellent. Fine quality lower third material. From Palo Alto is what's that guy's name? Keith Tier.
Yeah, my gutters are in good shape, so I haven't had mine replaced. But I was hoping Mike would do that at some point. I've been thinking about his gutters.
Thanks for that.
Mine is always in the gutters.
you're
But-
I got it.
Okay, that person is to my right,
Oh,
and that's our producer and director, Tina Chase Gillmor.
hi. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Gillmor Gang. Glad you're here.
And that's it.
I got this new fine vessel for my drinks. I really like it. It's like a silicone straw. I'm testing it out, and I say it works very well.
From the state of confusion, aka Georgia, is yeah, you said that last time. Is what's the guy's name?
Come on,
Seriously.
Wow.
Mr. Brent Leary.
Thank you.
Wow, thanks.
I'll be in
Excellent.
Atlanta in February, Brent. I hope we get to see each other then.
Yeah, I hope so. I got some travel, but hopefully. But you know what? I'm happy. I'm pretty excited. This whole month of December has been good because Doctor Who is really back. It's been good. These 3 specials have been really good, and I can't wait for the Christmas special.
Yeah, me neither. It's going to be great.
Is
Awesome.
it David Tennant back in the driving seat?
Yeah, not on the Christmas special, I don't think. I think
No,
that
they did the
it's-
transition at the end of the 3rd special.
Yeah, he's gone.
It was great
Well,
though.
no, he's not gone. He's just
Yeah,
well,
he's not gone.
he
Yeah.
transmuted.
Transmogrified.
He transmogrified.
Should we
It
watch
was-
Doctor Who?
Not me.
No?
I'm,
You say
It
no.
was
Oh,
a-
it's so good.
It was
It's-
a bi-generation, not a generation. It
I'm
was a
not doing
bi-
anything until I introduce from the state of framework of whatever Massachusetts. It's Dennis Pombriand.
Could you come back to me? I don't think Chat GPT is done compiling me yet.
It did a great job with Matthew McConaughey.
What is that?
all right.
So they had more to work with.
If
Oh,
if
don't
AI is the new
short there,
gold,
Dennis.
AI is the new gold.
that's such a bad ad. Because what does that even mean? AI.
It means nothing, but it has Matthew McConaughey, who is actually the brother of Woody Harrelson. So let's.
I now want to. I saw Woody Harrelson on the stage, Frank. You got to go. Ulster American.
I heard it's great. I heard it's terrific.
It's fantastic, and it's a short run, so get a ticket before it's.
If you're in London, go see it.
Coolio.
All right. So,
Oh, there you go. That's so cute.
see, we are actually right here together. So,
Well, I think the first thing we got to acknowledge is that it's holiday season. My office closed down last night and will not open till January the 8th.
Wow.
my birthday.
There you go.
Congratulations.
That's why we did it.
To both of you.
Said we got to
My,
be
my
back.
office, by the way, never closes.
24/7.
24/7.
Yes, happy holidays to everybody. You're enjoying them so far?
Happy.
I
Not
am.
really. I spent the whole morning. My youngest son's MacBook suddenly decided that it didn't have a keyboard or a trackpad, so you could turn it on, but you couldn't do anything. And he has an exam at school. He's got a final at 11:30, which is 6 minutes from now. So I had to scrabble around to figure out a solution for him.
Wow.
There was
Well-
a major freak out, I'm sure.
Couldn't you
No, he
start
just
it up
stayed, he
in
stayed
safe
asleep
mode?
the whole time. And as I was needing him to put passwords and things, he said, "Stop waking me up."
So I'm not that worried.
No, you can trust a 17-year-old to basically say F you every time you're trying to help them.
Is this your youngest?
Yes,
He's 17 already? Wow.
he is. He
My
is.
goodness. Time is flying
And
by.
he's 6'2", so he's
Eyes
the
are blue.
tallest,
Oh, sorry.
and he's 250 to 60 pounds because
Oh,
he plays
wow.
football. He's a Brent will get this. He plays fullback,
American
At 260? Wow, that's some hell of a
and
fullback.
he's right tackle sometimes.
Yeah.
That makes more sense at 260.
But he can run. The thing is, he can run.
American
He
football,
must be-
not English football.
Yeah, football, American football.
Yeah, the real deal. What are you talking about, Tina?
Yeah, he must be fast.
He's not. He's fast for his.
Soccer house. So
He's fast for his weight. They can't stop him once he starts running. They literally can't stop him.
Well, they get out of the way.
They don't want to stop him. It's more like it. I'm happy. The holidays started great for me last night because the Rams won Thursday night football.
Who?
Right.
which must be have been a surprise given the season.
Oh.
No,
Okay,
watch
Keith.
out. He's going to mute you. If
All
you...
right, Keith. Here, I'm trying to be nice over here.
Well, obviously the big talking point, and I don't know if we want to talk about it, but the big talking point is obviously the decision in Colorado,
Oh,
which is dividing opinion across the political spectrum quite sharply, I think. There's no consensus about, even within the Democrats,
No.
about one's attitude to it. And that's probably quite right, because it is an extreme situation.
well, the Colorado judiciary had already voted that sort of half of what they ended up with when the appellate court came in and voted that he should be taken off the ballot. It had already said, well, yes, he did commit these atrocities, but not so much that he should be taken off the ballot. So I think that's an interesting thing. The other interesting thing to me is that, it's Colorado, which is a Democratic state anyway. But if it's upheld, I would think it's probably going to allow other judges to say, let's do it in our state.
Okay, quick poll. Raise your hand if you think it's going to be upheld.
I think it might.
I don't
Okay.
think so.
Conversely, those who think it will not be upheld.
What does that mean, Brent? That means it won't be upheld?
Yeah, I just wanted to be different from you guys.
Yeah, because that's not a raise your hand. That's like a,
Michael,
Well,
you
Those are
vote?
wrong.
I did not vote. I have no idea. I could see it
None
going
of us
either
have
way.
any idea. It's a poll. I'm
I
asking
know
you.
it's a poll, and no opinion is one of the responses you can give in a poll.
Okay.
That's right.
Well, I mean, we won't all agree on this because we all look at it differently. But for me, it is, and this is a layman's point of view, not educated by the constitutional facts, because I'm not familiar enough with the 14th Amendment. But my gut reaction is, he hasn't been convicted of being an insurrectionist, even though we all think he was.
Don't have to be.
Well, that's a divided opinion, whether you have to be. And so I think
it's in the text. There's no mention of conviction in the text.
Yeah.
And
Well,
he's not, one problem with that is he hasn't been charged with insurrection. So he will never be convicted of insurrection unless someone makes that charge.
Well, that then makes one think, doesn't it, that this is a political decision, not a legal one?
No, because the wording in the 14th Amendment says engaged, supported, or gave aid and comfort to an insurrection.
But doesn't there need to be evidence for that?
Pardon?
Shouldn't there be some evidential basis for that?
There's no crime of aiding and supporting an insurrection, is there?
No, and Colorado had already said that he did it. I mean, their justice system has already said it.
Well,
there was an evidentiary hearing. It was
It-
an evidentiary hearing. It had documentary evidence, which was the J6 committee report, and it had witness testimony. And Trump had the opportunity to counter any of the claims that he was part of an insurrection. So there was a judgment. It was not a criminal judgment, but you have to understand that qualifications to serve and criminality are two different categories.
So my guess is, leaving that aside, Michael, that could easily be right. My guess is it completely plays into his narrative that the Democrats are trying to remove democracy by
Yes, but the suit was
legal tricks.
The odd thing is, though, the new attention to the 14th Amendment, Section 3, was raised by two Republican authors and supported by one of the most prominent Republican judges, Judge Luddick, and the suit was raised by 6 Republicans. So, Trump, of course, will lie about everything, but it wasn't Republicans who took him off the ballot.
Well, there's
I
another
mean, it wasn't
fly.
Democrats
There's
who took him off the ballot.
you can wield that argument correctly, but I still will say Trump ends up being the winner of this, and therefore it's stupid.
It may be. The first poll we have on this say that 54% of those who were polled support the decision.
yeah.
There's a 20-point spread between those who support it and those who oppose it.
You know, there's another fly in the ointment, and that is the all of this brouhaha by Republicans about Biden being taken off the ballot in other states that doesn't seem to have any legal grounds whatsoever. So are the Republicans digging themselves into a hole that's going to backfire? I don't know. Look, I hear what everyone's saying, and I still don't think it's gonna fly.
Well, I mean, here's the weird thing. You know, we know now there are firmly blue states and firmly red states, and we can pretty confidently put their electoral votes up on the scoreboard right now before the election. So if you take Biden off the ballot in red states, doesn't matter. If you take Trump off the ballot in blue states, it doesn't matter. Those votes are going to go where they go.
Yeah.
We have a system that decides the presidency based on the votes of 50 to 100,000 people in 3 to 5 swing states, maybe 7 swing states.
But that's a mathematical truth, but it does matter from the point of view of what is the United States of America? What is this country? How fake or real is democracy? That matters.
Let's remember that democracy exists under the rule of law. So the question is, does the rule of law, does the Constitution apply in the United States? You want to suspend the Constitution every time something is unpopular. How did we get the decision on Roe?
Well, the Constitution is clearly subject to debate, like
well, that's why there's a Supreme Court.
Like gun laws. You know, I don't know about you. I don't respect the constitutional right for everyone to carry arms. So I would want that changing. So the Constitution isn't the Bible. You know, it is a document, a living document, let's call it, that can be contested.
Yes, and I think Frank had the answer to that. That's why we have a Supreme Court. So what the Supreme Court rules is what the Constitution means until the Supreme Court says otherwise.
You know, there was an interesting article, I think it was in the Atlantic this week, that basically said that the Supreme Court has its hands tied because the Colorado ruling was written from a very conservative point of view and of original intent. And if the Supreme Court were to overrule that ruling, which they certainly could do, there would be no legal basis for conservatism.
Now, couldn't the Supreme Court simply decide not to hear the case?
They could, in which case it would still go to the appellate court.
I think
that's what Jack Smith's tried to do by going to the Supreme Court. He's tried to leapfrog the appellate court to save some time, so that the election could proceed.
Either way, it saves some time, because if they decline to hear it, then it's just the appellate court, as you pointed out.
That's right.
The broader gamble, and I have a gut feel, but I don't know that I'm right, but the broader gamble is the belief that every defeat for Trump is good, whereas I actually think it might be bad. Therefore, I think fighting these battles fuels his narrative, and his narrative is working.
But it does, and I agree with that. But
remember, the audience is already divided. So anything that attacks Trump reinforces his position with the people who are already supporting him.
We'll see.
The question is, what does a defeat for Trump do to people who aren't supporting him, or who are still neutral? Do we have any?
That was the point that you made.
Swing state.
That was the point that you made, Michael, on the last show, and it seems that we will not know the impact on Trump's campaign in independents and other groups until it's decided whether or not he has the right to be on the ballot.
Frank just held up, what did that say, Frank? That they,
The Supreme Court declined today to decide for now whether former President Donald J. Trump is immune from prosecution on charges of plotting to overturn the 2020 election.
So
There you go.
that's a separate issue, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but it's interesting because a point I was going to make a second ago was no matter what, I think all of this flies in the face of his efforts to try and slow things down. I don't think this slows anything down. I don't think any of these decisions slow things down for him. I think it moves things forward faster.
Well, certainly
Explain
this
that.
this ruling by the Supreme Court today will move things along faster, because the Chutkan case was basically in suspended animation while immunity was being discussed. So that's a good thing.
My guess is his whole game plan is to be put behind bars sometime around August.
Yeah. You ever hear of James Michael Curley? Did we talk about this last time?
I don't
Well,
remember the name, so I think not.
Curly was with the real one, or was it Zeppo?
No.
No, Curly Stooges. Come on, let's get this
James
right.
Michael Curley was
Important
the
stuff here.
corrupt
Yeah.
mayor of Boston, who at one point was incarcerated and governed from his jail cell. This seems like Curly Redux.
talk about that.
And the test of Michael's point will be if Trump wins the election. If Trump wins the election, he's clearly persuaded a lot of the middle ground to vote for him.
Well, in which case, we've got a nation of dummies, and and I'm getting
And a lot of people who are moving out.
But again, it's not a lot of people. It's a a giant football stadium's worth of people.
Very loud people, but you're right, Michael. That's
Yeah.
a very good point.
And so, there are some other states who are looking also to take him off the ballot. And what I'm getting here from everybody, it sounds like that is not going to matter.
Well,
Well,
it depends on which states.
Yeah,
I guess.
if they're blue states, what's what Steve was saying. I think Steve, you were the one saying that. My gray cells are like
saying anything at this point.
But if
Maybe
they-
Steve
By the
could
way,
help.
if
Some
he
states
is-
one way, some
or
states
seen.
another way.
If
You
he's
want-
not on the ballot, just practically speaking, can people write his name in, or will the Republicans feel someone instead of him? What's the practical consequence of him not being on the ballot?
I imagine that they can write in any name that they want to write in. But I think one of the interesting thing that's going on right now is that the polling is showing how strong Haley is doing in New Hampshire. I think that's a very interesting development. I mean, she's
What are her
within.
numbers?
She's running 25 points behind Trump.
I don't think it was. I think it was closer than that. I think
it is much closer to that.
Yeah, I think it was within the margin of error, is what I read today.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's changed in the last 2 days, because
Yeah, that was
not true 3 days ago. And who knows anyway, because none of this polling is real.
yeah, that's also true.
4 points behind, according to the New York Post.
4 points,
That
and
is,
the New York
That's
Post.
it? Really?
Yeah.
So that's
It's,
a
According to
It's,
disinterested news media.
yeah.
well, no, but it was not a New York Post poll. It was another organization's poll. I can't remember which organization it was. It was, but as Steve points out, I think
it was the
correctly
American
so.
Research Group, whoever they are.
And
And
for all we know, they're
got-
part of the.
She got 29%. Trump got 33, and
Well, the good news is that there's going to be a vote. What day is the primary? The 5th? Or is it a little later? It's not long from now.
It's soon.
Yeah, and then there will be an actual number, and then we have something to talk about. So moving on, is there anything else that we can talk about?
Yes.
Michael can participate in a poll. That's all I'm really interested in.
So, okay, here I've got one.
I do
the-
participate. I'm telling you,
Oh,
no
you
opinion
did
without
a very good job.
participation.
There was a lot. I was waiting for some of the, on the other hand, before I could evaluate the credibility of your position, but you certainly weighed in. You just didn't vote.
Okay,
Voted present.
disco Warnamount. That's the big media story
What?
right now.
Say that.
Disco,
So,
disco.
Frank, you put that in your newsletter
Yes.
about Paramount Plus,
Yeah. Well, not Paramount
not a
Plus.
network,
Cisco.
not
Disco
any-
one
Yeah, so
is
wait, let me ask the question. Uh, is that real? Was there actually a meeting, or is that also disinterested media play?
my guess is that there actually was a meeting between Zasloff and Redstone and that they discussed it. I honestly don't think that it was much more than a discussion, because I think it's a really bad idea. Shades of Time Warner AOL. But I just and I think that the losers are you and me in something like that.
How's
Because
that? I mean, my loss is that I no longer am subscribed to Max. I cannot get it
Why
oh,
not?
because I don't want to pay for it.
well, there you
Oh.
go.
Well, okay.
That's a totally different reason.
No,
But I
that's
mean,
the only
If you
reason.
have
Well, sure.
AT&T fiber, you get it for free.
Oh, well, we do.
Yeah, we do, but we've
So
not,
what's the problem?
but
You
it's
can
Yeah.
log in using your
Slightly-
AT&T login.
slightly inaccurate comment.
No, if you go to
If
your
you have AT&T fiber for mobile, you can get it.
no, just
We
fiber.
don't.
I get it for free, and I've only got AT&T fiber. I've got
what
nothing else.
do you mean? You have a cable hooked up to your
No.
phone when you walk around, and it's a fiber cable? Is that what you're saying?
I get it for free through AT&T wireless too.
Are you
Yeah.
using AT&T wireless
Yeah,
on what, a mobile device?
that's what I use my iPhone. Yeah.
Yes. So it's mobile service.
No, but I don't, Steve. I only have
I
AT&T.
hear you both, and I understand what Brent is saying. I
How can
don't
we make a
understand.
call?
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
find out because
Yeah,
I'm
because-
so missing. What was it that I'm missing on Max? Nothing.
Gillmor.
Actually, there's some really good like documentaries that they don't really do a great job of marketing. I was like, oh wow, this is here. I'll watch this.
Hmm.
But you know what? There's
Now-
so much content on all these different things. It's no wonder you're able to find hidden gems because there's just so much stuff. It's kind of ridiculous. You know what's funny? I was thinking about this. Remember, like you just mentioned the AOL Time Warner, merger back in the day that really didn't seem to go anywhere. But maybe they were just ahead of their time because isn't that what Amazon and them buying whatever it was they bought, Paramount or something like that? I mean, it just feels like maybe the combination of the pipe and the content was a little too soon for it to actually take off. But isn't that pretty much what's going on?
Well, I think that's a good
theoretically
point.
speaking?
Brent, I think that's a really good point. I mean, if you think about it, when it was ABC, NBC, and CBS, and ABC, NBC, and CBS were owned by ABC, NBC, and CBS, are now owned by Disney, Comcast, and Paramount. And so it's this consolidation of the content into a big bucket so what is continuing to happen. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And add to that the whole idea of everything's going to be just part of a big bundle anyway for the viewer. You would think that wouldn't matter, but in terms of a merger, it probably means that some of those channels will go away. I don't know what happens to the content of those channels. I imagine it gets eaten up by the big conglomerate. But if some of those channels do go away, look, there's an opportunity, for example, I think it's what's that guy's name? There's trying to buy BET.
Oh, I know you thought the comedian.
Yes.
I could see his face too.
Yeah, me too. I used to run into him at NatBe all the time.
Byron Allen.
Byron Allen, and his company is out there. He just made an offer to buy Paramount.
Yep.
For I don't know certain billions of dollars, and that's a real honest to God on paper offer. At the same time, Paramount is in possible discussions as part of this Disco Warnamount deal. So it just means that there's so much going on in the media ecosystem right now that it's very confusing. And I guess we'll all just have to sit back and watch and hope that whatever happens, our best shows like Reacher and those sorts of things don't go away.
So that's Discovery, Warner, and what's the Mount part?
Paramount.
So
Okay.
Frank, I was not aware of this conversation or the implications of it. Even though we've talked about it, I'm still not. Give me the bullet points. What's going on?
So David Zaslav and who owns Discovery Warner,
Which acquired Warner
right?
Media.
So they're Disco Bros. And Sherry Redstone, who owns Paramount and CBS and all of this stuff.
She has the two Lamb Shop and
Stop it.
oh, it's not her.
That's a different one. So those two people have been in discussions about merging, and wouldn't be a merger; it would be a purchase.
Although articles 3 days ago said that that this was a rumor and that no meetings had happened, and then you posted on your thing that it had happened.
Yeah.
So I'm
So
still asking the question: did it happen?
I believe it's happened, but I'm not Fox, so I can, but I will go ahead and say I believe that the conversations happened. Well, I think that it's not unusual for those kinds of conversations to happen anyway, regardless of whether it's going to be something that will come to fruition or not. Because
Okay.
when Zaslav talked about taking Discovery and merging it with Warner Brothers, the same conversations were happening prior to that. This just
So you commented on the idea of a big bundle. Unpack that.
So everything, it seems to me, in terms of the pipe, is starting to go down that bundle line, especially with the fasts. If you look at the number of fasts that there are now,
Okay,
there's
we're
almost-
already in the weeds here. What's a fast? I mean,
a fast is free advertiser television, so free advertising supported television. So
okay. Why did you mention that?
Because there's over 2,000 of those out there now. That's a huge number of free advertiser supported television, and the amount of people who are watching those free advertiser supported channels is growing every single day, and they are going to end up being bundled. Now, look, you could say that a company like YouTube TV is the bundler. You could say that Hulu or Hulu TV, which is, by the way, already been in the midst of merger and acquisition talks, is a bundler. So there are bundlers out there that are putting these things all in one place. But when you start taking the bundles and combine the bundles, that's what I was talking about. So that's it, Keith. It's simple in that there are these discussions, I believe, that are going on. It's not simple in what it means.
So underlying it, I'm guessing underlying it, the correct narrative is everyone's losing money on streaming and they need to merge to cut costs from a bigger catalog.
I think that's part of it. And I think that's why you're going to see, if they do merge things, some things will go away. I don't want to be the one that's going to decide what it is that's going to go away, but I think that if someone like Byron Allen comes in and says to the big purchaser of Disco Warnamount, well, I'll take Paramount off your hands. Here's $8 billion or whatever it was he's willing to spend, $20 million. That goes into paying off the debt, because both of those companies are hugely over leveraged and in debt. So if you put the two of them together, the debt's even bigger.
So it still comes back to Apple, Amazon, and Netflix are the big winners.
Well, nobody's talking about those being those people talk about acquisitions of those as well. Steve, you've probably seen some of the most recent stuff that Evan Shapiro's been talking about. He's put out a bunch of what ifs. But yes, Keith, you're right.
Amazon bought MGM, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And now, by the way, Lionsgate is up for sale for, I want to say $6 billion, not much. But that means the studios are starting to move around too. MGM moved. If Lionsgate moves, which was a part of MGM at one point, but split off, the studios are starting to make a lot of noise.
So at what point do we actually have an ability to be able to bundle for ourselves?
I think we can do that ourselves.
Well,
I
how
think
do I
that
how do I get Max and not pay for it?
You
Well,
go to Apple. I know.
AT&T wireless.
I can tell him. You
No,
log
no,
in.
no, you've already told me, and
No, but I'm more
we haven't
specific.
found out whether that's true. or not.
You just log in on your Apple TV saying use TV provider, and you type in your AT&T password.
Yeah, that's like a workaround.
No, I tried that a couple days ago. Didn't
No,
work.
I like the question. There's certain things I like to watch that are on Netflix. There are certain things I like to watch that are on Prime. There are certain things I like to watch on Max.
Yeah.
I don't watch 2% of the stuff on the individual, but I can pick and choose and build myself a nice little bundle from all the different services that I only watch 1 or 2 shows on. If
Well,
I
that's
could
what
do that would be awesome. But that
Well,
ain't
but you
happening
can-
anytime soon.
Well, you kind of can do that.
Kind
But
of explain it then.
you kind of can do that if you actually buy all the services and then determine which ones
That's
you
the problem. I don't want to
You
buy
can't
all
get
the
shows a la carte. That's the problem.
Yes.
You can't
Yeah.
get the
You
shows a la
can-
carte.
you-
You've got to get the whole menu.
Yes, you can. But then what you do is you do something like Linktree with the shows that you care about. You create your own channel.
That's not solving the
Linktree?
problem, though.
What
No,
is-
that doesn't. You're right. It doesn't solve the problem. You still have to pay for those things
So
unless
in other words, it doesn't work. But
no,
that's,
you could go into the churn cycle.
what is Linktree?
Linktree is a way to put the all of the things that you subscribe to into one place, so that you can just go to that one page, click on that one thing, and then those things come up.
But you still
They're actually that exists within Apple TV Plus. You could link all of your services to Apple TV Plus.
yeah, but
and
they
then
don't.
That's
one
you're
month
still
the
paying for
Apple-
those services. That's the problem.
That's correct.
That's right.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
pay for them. You can't.
Yeah, there's so much stuff that comes up on my Apple TV Plus feed that I click on that all of a sudden says, how would you like to watch this? And then you click the how would you like to watch it, and up will come 4 or 5 opportunities for you to pay for it.
But I'm talking about specifically series that you're invested in, that I'm watching. All of the series that I'm watching across all of the services that I watch them from come up in one page on Apple TV Plus.
I get that, but look, how many services are you paying for to have that happen? And just think about all the content that's on Netflix. How much do you actually watch? So I'm paying like $20 a month, and I watch like maybe 1% of the stuff that's available. So I'm stuck with paying for the 20, and I only use like 1%. I don't want to pay like that. I want to be able to pick and choose the stuff I have, and then pay like a bundle of $20 for that, not
Yeah,
$20
that was-
here for
well,
1% and
I would
another 10 over here.
I would love to do that, but I'll tell you, going along with what you're saying, Brent, I found myself over the last week searching for anything to watch, anywhere there was to watch it, because I had already watched everything that I really cared about. And so I found myself now starting to watch these absolutely awful 3rd and 4th rate Bruce Willis movies where he didn't even say anything because He was close. Anyway, our third and fourth rate of anybody's movies. I mean, I was watching some of the most horrible crap you could ever watch, and I could not wait until today
Okay,
when everything came back on.
I got to ask you guys, because you guys get into a lot of shows, and you talk about how great these shows are. But are we in a better state of content consumption when you have to pay for every damn service and you only watch like this little nugget from each of these services, which means you're paying like $200 and you're only really watching just a little nugget of this? It feels like, I don't care how great that series is, I feel worse off because I got to pay all these different places just to get a little nugget.
So yes and no.
A little nugget.
Yes.
I paid for BritBox yesterday for a year. It's $89 for a year for one show, which is actually one episode of one season of one show, which is Vera. And
Great show.
I said to myself, it's an hour and a half show. Is it worth $89 just to watch it? And I thought, you know what? I want to watch it. So I'm going to pay
but
it.
can't you VPN to London and watch it on
Oh
BBC?
God, here we go.
I can, yeah. By the way, NordVPN is now an Apple TV app, and I'm using it to watch live soccer. It's fantastic.
Yeah, so I kind of agree with what you're saying, Brent. On the other hand, before all of this happened, we were already paying a whole lot of money for cable. So it's kind of like, and I think I
saved a bunch of money by dumping Comcast.
But I was going to say, and I've said this months ago, maybe even a year ago, that it was going to end up like cable anyway. So the whole streaming ecosystem, it's really just cable, but not on a cable. But still, you need a cable in order to get the internet into your house anyway. So it's cable.
Well, I'd like to end this part of this by telling Steve that I found, just real quick Google search, if you purchased internet 1,000, 2,000, or 5,000 within these date ranges, you received access to Max at no extra charge. FYI, the promotion ended for AT&T Fiber on June 5th, 2022. So I think we got our AT&T Fiber after that. What do you think? Did we?
What I hear is that Keith doesn't know what he's talking about.
No, well, of course you're going to say that because you like to say that. But
that's it. That will make Steve's whole year. Every time I'm proven wrong.
If it's true, I mean, if you're right, then I'm where I always am, which is like
you're not paying attention to the date that I just
talked
about
I didn't
when
understand it.
One of the things that is frequently the case, and I don't know the specifics here, is that these bundles are promotional bundles where to get you to sign up with something, they will throw in something else for 6 months or maybe a year. And after the promotion ends, you have to start paying for the something else.
When ChatGPT trains on the sales pitch of Comcast when they're trying to make you not leave, and that must be 20,000 words that they have in their script there. Well, in this case, I understand what you're trying to do, but how about this? And then they give you offers endlessly, which of course don't include Max.
Well, that's just their job.
Yeah, let's face it, their job is to extract as much money from us as possible. Right. They're not worried about anything else.
Well,
that.
And the worse the system gets for people who are trying to find these shows, the more money these companies are going to start charging. That's why Netflix raised its price. That's why almost everybody has raised their price recently. Almost everybody, at least all the ones that I'm paying for. I don't even know which bank accounts I'm paying for which services, but I keep getting all these notifications that this service and that service has increased its price. I just go, okay. It's too much trouble for me to go cancel them.
So maybe this will have a service that allows us to choose which states can block Trump from the ballot
Maybe
and have that add up to the new
bundle.
Apple TV bundle for to replace the Electoral College.
Hmm.
I think it's all the same thing.
Okay.
I'd like to
Next
find out.
subject.
I'd like to find out if Mr. Pombriant has something that he's been thinking about lately that he'd like to talk about. Because I know he's bored with this streaming stuff.
Not a good day to ask. I'm kind of bored with everything. Maybe it's winter
Okay.
solstice.
Uh,
Well, that was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
now
So
we
we're
have longer
already,
days.
this is a longer day today than it was yesterday. So you should be on the plus side, right?
Well, but yesterday was an extra short day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that how that works? Okay.
Yes.
Sun sets at 4:16 Eastern time here, Boston.
4:16.
4:16.
Did anything come out of COP that that you thought was worth coming out of that
Out of what?
COP? COP?
Oh, the whole climate thing.
Yeah. Did anything come out of that other than some of the things that were reported? I don't think I heard anything that made it sound like anything significant happened.
Well, I think the petroleum producers are talking about an end to fossil fuels, and I think that's a good thing. I think everybody's tiptoeing around the idea that there's this magical unlimited supply of petroleum in the ground, which is just not true. And I think the big tell that came out of COP28 is that they're now basically trying to figure out for sure how many years they can sell petroleum for, because although we're making some strides in fixing the climate, early strides, things aren't going to get tremendously better until we stop using petroleum or until we stop burning it. We need to keep using it to make plastics and glass and concrete and paint and varnish and a whole bunch of other things, even pharmaceuticals. There's 500 pharmaceuticals that are derived from coal. A lot of people don't realize that. Organic chemistry is completely dependent on petroleum. So if anything, we need to begin thinking about preserving what we have and getting away from burning it.
How successful do you think the Republican Party is going to be in blocking electric vehicles? There seems to be a promotional campaign that they're running right now to suggest that, as the lower third says on Fox, something to the effect that the Democrats are not being successful at shoving electric vehicles down our throats.
Well, that's a pretty typical Republican trope. I think as a practical matter, that ship has sailed.
So you don't think that's going to be a successful? That's just old news that isn't going to work.
I think it's for internal consumption. Yeah, I read a book not too long ago, the title of which was $20 a gallon. Think about that. That could
I'd
happen.
rather not.
Yeah, I'd rather
Did you
not.
say internal consumption or internal combustion?
Internal consumption of the Republican Party?
To speak to the base is what you're saying.
I think so. Are you all familiar with Elizabeth Kubler-Ross's 5 stages of grief?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I'm in resignation.
Yeah.
right. So first stage is anger. Second, I forget what the second one is. I always forget. The third one is bargaining. And I think in order to get off of fossil fuels, we've got to go through a grieving process. And the middle stage in grieving is called bargaining. In this case, it's I call it grifting.
Hmm.
If you take a look at the alternatives that are out there, the things that people come up with to extend the paradigm, they all sound good, but none of them actually work. There are people coming out with stories about internal combustion engines using ammonia instead of gasoline or diesel fuel. But those things have big problems. There's also something called a water engine. I don't know.
I was just going to say that The Water Engine. It's a great movie.
What Watership Down?
Well, because you can take water and you can pull the hydrogen out of it, then you can burn the hydrogen and it'll power your car. That as was the theory.
Well, that's the theory, but everybody forgets the second law of thermodynamics, which says that the oxygen-hydrogen bond, each individual bond, is worth 104 kilocalories per mole. So you've got to put at least that much energy in to split
To make it takes
molecule.
How can I
It-
forget
it
that
takes-
when I
it
didn't
takes-
learn it in the first place?
It takes
Yeah,
heat
I-
to separate the oxygen from the hydrogen. You have to heat it in order to make it work.
Well, worse than that, you have to put more in than you're going to get out
It's the perpetual motion machine, correct?
in reverse. Yeah.
It's like marriage, Dennis.
Geez.
Uh,
Yeah.
We've reached the paradox of Keith being funny.
The
was
paradox
good.
of the
It was good.
paradigm.
As
Yeah,
soon as
so-
he
so I
said you
could
got to
talk
put
forever
more in
about
than you're going to
that,
get
but
out, it was right there in
It's
my
first
head.
law, right, Frank?
It's a paradox of a paradigm.
It's Fudd's first law, right, Frank?
That's first of all. You know what? It's through the ever widening hole.
Fire sign alert.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, this is getting fun now.
Just as we come close to the end.
Always. Oh, we're
I
always
can't-
coming close to the end.
Let me tell you something that really shocked me. I was registering a car in South Carolina, and the car is a Prius, right? Hybrid. I got charged. They charged me extra. I think it was not a whole lot, but like $60 because it's a hybrid.
Well, that's South Carolina.
That's South Carolina, and that I was like mortified. I'm like, what are you guys trying to do here? This doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I think the sense that it makes is that gasoline taxes go to pay for roads. If people stop buying gasoline, they're not contributing to paying for roads. So they're looking for some way to tax electric vehicles to help build the roads.
There you go, Tina.
I feel a little bit better.
Yeah, but the gas tax, the federal gas tax is pretty tiny.
I
compared to the
thought they
price
were.
of gas.
Well, don't
You
we
mean-
pay for our roads any other ways other than gas taxes?
Not according to the Republican Party, we don't.
Well, don't you pay tax when you go to the store and buy stuff?
There's different
Depends
roads.
on the state.
There's local, state, and federal roads, and they all get paid for differently.
So anybody want to tell me whether or not Nikki Haley is going to be a formidable opponent?
Biden will win handily if she runs, I suspect.
I think the Republicans are desperately looking for
Anybody?
a non-Trump candidate. You'll
are?
notice DeSantis's PAC just pulled all of its funding for ads in Iowa. So the smart money is not behind DeSantis. It may be behind Nikki Haley if she can post some decent numbers in the early primaries.
She doesn't have to win New Hampshire to make that happen, I don't think. She just has to get
Look
some
at
really good
President-
numbers.
President Hart, proof. President Hart, remember him?
No.
No.
The theory of
Gary
his
Hart.
campaign, yes.
There's no way she gets Trump's base, and without Trump's base, she can't win. So it's not going to happen. No matter what New Hampshire happens, it's not going to happen.
Michael, what do
If
you
if she wins enough, she could make it a contested convention in the summer. And by then, Trump will have maybe a few verdicts against him. It'll be a shit show for sure.
I think the
So,
idea that
I
the
mean, one of
convention
the one of the factors in the GOP is that their delegates are not awarded proportionally. The delegates are awarded winner take all. So a good showing, if you're running as a Democrat, will net you some delegates. A good showing, if you're running as a Republican, will not in most states.
but I think that what Dennis was talking about could make for a very interesting, finally, a very interesting convention where stuff actually happens at the convention as opposed to all of it happening before the convention.
That would be true if, in fact, it would happen, but I don't think it will happen.
Well, you know, I mean that's the theory. If all of the anti-Trump Republican votes would consolidate behind one candidate, there might be an effective opposition. And it looks like the momentum is shifting towards Nikki Haley. Whether it happens or not, stay tuned.
That would be the best thing that would happen to the Democrats.
Yeah.
If for some reason she gets ahead and wins the nomination, Republic, because do you think that's going to stop Trump from running? You know he's going to run. You know he'll find some way to run as an independent because he's got to keep running, or he'll go to jail. I mean, so if she
He
somehow
doesn't mind going to jail. He just wants to make sure it's an ankle bracelet. He doesn't want to live in jail.
no, but he feels if he keeps running, they can't arrest him or lock him up or whatever. That'd be the worst thing. That'd be the worst thing that happened to the Republicans if somehow she overtook him, because he's not going to get out and he's going to take his people and he's going to take them and tell them to vote for him. I don't care. And then he's going to say it's been a rigged election before. It's still a rigged election. And he'll probably cause even more mayhem if he is the third person as opposed to actually having the Republican nomination.
You know, he's already causing mayhem in Colorado. There's been a tremendous number, apparently, of the justices there that have been getting death threats and all sorts of things that only happen because of things that are being posted on Truth Central.
Well, just keep in mind that this time, if anybody has to invoke the Insurrection Act, it's a Democrat.
Explain.
Any rioting, I don't think will be tolerated.
Okay, last thoughts, starting with Keith.
No, that was the week for the next 2 weeks. I'm looking forward to not thinking, not writing, and just eating and drinking.
Good on you.
Michael.
I've been a four-season fan of For All Mankind, but I think the fourth season is losing it. I think they've got the shark.
I finally get sucked into this stupid thing, and now you're spoiling.
No, you know what? I don't agree. Unless
Okay.
unless I haven't seen many of the episodes yet. I think there's only been 4 of them so far in the last season. At least that's all I have access.
There's a new one that came out yesterday.
And I enjoy it. I really do. I mean, it seems to, I don't want to blow it for you, Steve and Tina. It just seems to have a whole lot of today in it, and it's interesting. I think it's really good.
Yeah, we've been enjoying it tremendously, given the fact that allegedly there's a Beatles reunion in 19 whatever XX.
Well, the early seasons were a great blend of alternate history, the dangers of space flight, soap opera, and it was all really well balanced. And I think lately the soap opera is just creeping up over everything.
Maybe, but no one can argue with how good Reacher is.
Wow, nice
I
try.
can't argue. I'm not sure.
I won't argue with it, but I'll say Slow Horses is better.
Oh my
Slow
God,
Horses
Slow
is a
Horses
good
is
show.
crazy. There's a new episode of Slow Horses today here in the UK too.
So
So
you're
once
running
I get
away
on,
from your previous prediction, which
no,
was
honestly, I completely just forgot about it. I've been so it's a
Well,
great show.
I've got one to throw in, which is the new season of Fargo.
Oh, yes.
Really, new
Absolutely.
season. Oh,
It
That
is
was another thing.
fantastic. Season 5.
That's another
Endorsed.
thing that we lost when Max went away.
No,
Mm.
it's in Hulu.
I know, but
It's on FX and Hulu. So you could get it for free because you've got YouTube TV.
Steve will be calling you
again,
later.
again, that would be great if it was true.
Yes, apparently.
You just have to get the FX. If you go into YouTube TV to the FX channel, click on the name of the channel, it'll show you everything in the channel, and one of them is Fargo
Okay.
I haven't done that.
from within YouTube TV.
I'll do.
I
I'm gonna.
think that what we did was, while we still had a relationship with Xfinity, it was bundled there, and all of a sudden, just like Max went away, so did FX access.
So you have a Comcast box? Is that what you're
Not
now?
well, I've got
Uh,
boxes, but
But
no.
I think Keith
we're-
is right about
we're not.
FX being part of the YouTube TV bundle.
Yeah, it is.
I have to go check that out.
Yeah, me too.
But my question for you, Keith, is can you get past episodes?
Yes.
You know,
That's
if you-
when you click on the channel name in the live guide, as opposed to one of the programs to the right, just
Uh-huh.
left and click on the channel symbol. It'll show you the box sets and all the stuff in that channel.
So if you
Is it
just so
channel?
you're
I
saying
mean,
just
nothing
go to the
better.
live, just click the live button and then go down to FX, and anything that you click will then show you all the shows that are in that thing.
Yeah, yeah, but don't click on a show that's at the current time. Go left and highlight the channel logo, and then
Yeah. And then save
That'll
it and
tell
have
you-
it recorded every episode.
yeah.
I love YouTube TV. It's just
Yeah, it's
except
fantastic.
they increased the price of that also. So
Duh.
Still cheap though.
yeah.
Oh my God. Add all this stuff up you're talking about.
Oh,
It-
that's
it-
hundreds. It's hundreds of dollars. It's
Well, you know, Brent has, one day a week he has to go and unsubscribe to, like, all the stuff that he's doesn't care
Oh
about.
yeah. Oh, right now, only because of on Amazon, they had all these $2.99 or $1.99 for a month. I subscribe to like 7 different things, but I will be unsubscribing to all 7 when those deals are over because I only get it because it's cheap.
See,
But if I had
have,
to pay for all that stuff at the regular price, oh hell no. I ain't
I
doing
have
it.
one.
Saving
I have
so
a
much
great
money.
advantage. I have a terrific advantage, and that is I don't own a car, so I don't have to buy gasoline or pay for insurance, and I use that money to buy my
Oh
content.
my God.
But before we leave Fargo, let me just tell you the English Cockney woman out of Ted Lasso, the blonde. She
Hannah
plays
Waddington?
she
Hannah
plays the
Waddington.
lead, a Minnesotan lead, and she is fantastic. in
Yeah,
this.
she's terrific.
Fargo.
She really Hannah Waddington, right?
One
Yeah.
of the impressive
No,
things.
no,
about
not Hannah
Fargo-
Waddington, the young one.
Oh, the young one, the one
Yeah.
that plays the that owned the public relations company.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the great things about Fargo, of course, is the accent and their ability to train every actor, whether they're from Britain or the U.S., to speak in that accent is incredibly impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, you totally believe that she's from there when completely.
Who
This
was
is amazing.
the
This is
actress
really
that
amazing to me.
first?
The amount of content that you guys can take in
And talk
It-
about.
and talk about and pay
Don't
for.
watch football all the time.
Look, that's for it's easy.
But-
This is the good thing about
look-
football.
Brent,
It's only
you have
on a
So
handful of
much
channels.
time.
I know exactly what channels to go to. I don't have to go searching through like
Oh,
500
great.
different services to find the game that I mean, I would drive me insane at this
It's a
point.
great afternoon for football.
Oh
So
my
Brent,
God.
did you not get YouTube TV so that you could get Sunday Ticket?
Well, yeah.
There you go.
But that makes it easy. It's all consolidated on one channel, YouTube
Okay.
TV.
All right, wait,
Dennis.
let's keep going around the horn because I do have
Yes,
one other
Dennis,
thing.
we all have to, run to see the next embargoed version of Reacher.
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward to some time off, as is Keith, and yeah, I've already started partying a little bit.
Oh, you look at.
Pardon me? Yes.
You know what I thought he said? I thought he said I've already started farting a little bit.
It did sound like that.
Well, I am from Boston, and we do like our beans here.
Takes us back to slow horses, doesn't it?
There you go.
Oh God, that's such a good one.
A lot of riffing
Was
going
that
on.
a sound effect or just incredible?
Speaking of sound effects, there's a sound story that just broke today, and that is that Toyota is
breaking.
going to. Yeah, it's breaking. Toyota is going to start having sound effects in its electric vehicles.
What?
So
Hell, what?
you'll have the
What does that
sound, the sound of a motor.
Well, Ford already
this
did that with the Mustang.
The sound of your discretionary streaming fund disappearing.
The sound
But
of the
Alan?
sound of your door opening instead of.
What?
That could
Why
be.
would what's up?
Yeah, right.
Elon Musk started that. I don't know if you're aware, but
You know,
every Tesla
first
has
time in 2023 that we've actually talked about Elon.
Yeah,
Musk.
but do the
Every-
Teslas?
every Tesla makes a farting sound.
What?
As
That's the
well it should.
emoji visualization, right?
That's Elon's sense of humor.
The thing is, does the sound effect allow you, for example, if you're crossing the street and you're blind, just saying, to hear the sound of an electric car's engine as it comes close to you? Is it an exterior sound effect or is it just an interior sound effect? I don't know the answer to the question. I'm just.
All the hybrid cars that I've had make sound outward below 15 or 20 miles an hour just to make sure you can hear them coming along.
Oh.
Those are the hybrids. I don't think that fully electric cars do that, but I don't
Not
know.
yet, but they could.
Check
They
out
could very
the
easily.
Mustang, Frank.
Check out the Mustang. I will. I
They
didn't
give
realize
you a
that.
vroom 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 sound
Do they from the outside?
from the outside. Yes, yes.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. So my story is like
He used to have one of those. He should have
Ki-
tested.
kind
But
of
I
like,
haven't seen
by
the
the
chart
way,
of
kind of
which
like, by the
vehicles
way,
have which sounds.
it's kind
They
of
get-
like what the stock market has done with the whole Warner Discovery Paramount merger. It's kind of been for the first day or so. The numbers went down. So it seems to have come back, and everybody's looking at it as meh.
I have those sound effects in 2 cars, and they get tired. You get tired of them real fast. You turn them off.
Turn them
eventually.
off.
Yeah.
You can turn them off.
Yeah.
Okay, Tina. Last thought.
Wait, I don't think, did Brent do last thoughts?
Well, he had plenty to say there for a while.
Last thoughts, happy holidays, everybody, and enjoy your families, enjoy your friends, enjoy your drink, enjoy your food.
Enjoy
Your
your
cats,
streaming
enjoy-
networks.
Enjoy your
the fact
cats.
enjoy the fact that our days are going to get longer again from now on. Thank you. We had a very interesting thing happen to us here. Well, we didn't. Okay, this is my last thought, so I get to talk. Yeah, we had like a flood. It was pretty surprising, and it happened fast. Charleston just really got it, and we live in a little cul-de-sac, only like 4 houses here in our little cul-de-sac. It was like a lake out there. We had a foot of water under our house, in our yard. It was.
Wow.
And I can't tell you all the things that were on the floor below the house that got ruined because
Mhm.
we didn't know what was going to happen. And oh, what a mess. Now I know I'm going to
I'm
be
sorry to hear that.
all
Yeah. Wow.
next time. It was bad.
It was like the worst aspects of a hurricane without any wind.
Without
Yeah,
a lot
because
of
because climate change is a hoax.
and this is why we do build up now, but It caught us off guard.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Good, sorry.
Thanks to everybody who showed up and especially those who didn't. We'll see you next time, probably in 2024.
Ooh. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Chow mein. Thanks.
Okay.
Stop recording.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Yeah, chow mein,
Happy
y'all.
You
See-
all.
holidays.
I'm gonna